Coach, you had 37 fast break points last game. What have you seen with that, with the turnovers and getting running, and what kind of extra layer does that add to your ball club?
Well, I think, anytime we, play with an edge and are locked in defensively, physical, we can be active and force turnovers. It's not necessarily something we do every night, but you see it rear its head sometimes and get out and run, and we can be, devastating in transition. So just that overall, activity and defensive mindset is something we're trying to build and get ourselves further down the road with the mentality more than anything.
Do you feel, and maybe you have to wait till the game, that there's a collective exhale, like, okay, we got that last game behind us, Kyrie's first game in the building. Let's get back to what we're trying to do, and you don't have that kind of hanging over your head?
Yeah, I don't really think our guys think much about it. We're just, we came home, more than anything, missed a bunch of shots. They made shots. We lost. That's the NBA. There's a randomness a little bit when you look at the course of the season, nights where one team makes shots, one team doesn't. You watch the film, the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think our team really moves past it and is just ready for another opportunity tonight.
These are obviously very, different rosters night to night that you're playing. I'm curious, are there things that you saw particularly from your perimeter defense in the last game that you need to tighten up and can put into effect in this, or are the rosters so different that night to night, those kind of matchups are almost irrelevant?
Sorry, to change what we're doing? Or
yeah, in other words, not schematic changes, but I mean, are there things that you need that you look at from the film of the last game, particularly perimeter defense wise, that need to be tightened up? Or is this roster so different from the last roster that those sort of things are?
I think we're always a work in progress, but there's an element of the last game where as coaches, we go in there after the game and you have to be careful not to overreact. When you look at the tape, there was plenty of good defense, plenty of good possessions, plenty of activity in the first half. 4 of 19 from 3, 8 of 16 from the foul line. On another night, it could have been up 15, 20 points at the half, and instead we go in, I think, up 4 and they make their run. So, I think you don't want to get too emotional in the moment and think of all the ways you can cure the world's ills and realize guys got in at 4 a.m, didn't make shots. We fell behind. Maybe we panicked for a little stretch. We got back into it and then just didn't have enough to close it. So I think that's just a part of the NBA. You're going to have nights where you don't have it all the way, but I don't think that, the defense was terrible. It was one of those nights. They made a ton of shots and they played well and we were fighting uphill the whole night.
Steve, has Ben been able to do anything more the last few days?
No.
Has he had another MRI? We know he had one a few weeks ago. Has he had any more?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
With Seth's case, Seth mentioned that, frequently he's having to play through discomfort. I'm curious, is it something that you expect this is just going to limit him and he's just going to have to figure out how to play through it the rest of the season? And I take it nothing's been talked about in terms of off-season procedures for him, right?
I have no idea what the next step is for him. I'm under the assumption that it's more rest than anything. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to manage this thing probably the rest of the way. He's still played relatively like himself. I think he's had some really great nights for us and carried this thing pretty well. So he's a pretty tough character and wants to play. So I think he'll be okay. If there's pockets where we can preserve him and limit his minutes, we'll try. But this is the nature of the NBA. You have to play through a lot of things. And if you're not playing through something, that's almost more unique than to carry an injury with you this time of year.